Products in this video were provided to the author to do a review. All opinions are 100% authors and authors alone.
Hey guys, this is your friend Iggy back again. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to use the Viper Gaming Mouse software in a lot greater detail than you saw in the previous unboxing video. And in that video I kind of went over it briefly, so this gives me a better chance to show you in more detail. Alright, so first off, we can see there are 5 different profiles, and each of those profiles has a color. Now, we can switch automatically between each profile by clicking this key here, the M key. Okay, so that goes through all of the profiles, and then this key right over here, and you can notice with these lights over here, that changes the DPI functions. Pretty cool the way it shows you over here as well. You know, so if you saw when I changed them over here, aside from the mouse changing colors, the actual on the OSD on the top left hand corner changed right along with it, and it also shows you the DPI you're selecting at that time. So pretty nice. Okay, and yeah, it goes all the way up to 12,000. All right, so aside from that, you know, whenever you switch, you saw all those colors change. And then from here you see that grayscale come up, or that color scale I should say, because you can click on it, any one you want, and you can change it to whatever color you want. And then that way you know, without even having to look through it, if you remember what those colors are, that, oh yeah, I'm on this profile, or that profile, or that profile, or that profile, or that profile. So that way it helps you know what profile you're on. Alright, so the function keys, or all these different keys that you can program, my favorite one is this one right over here, because it's such an odd placement of a mouse button. You can see that right here. But it's perfect, because as you're gaming, your hands are always right here, and then every so often you can just go click, click, and then you can click on that mouse button, and I'll just show you with my right hand. You can just go click, click, and it's not a huge ordeal, you know, if you had like 35 buttons right over here, like some do. But anyway, so if you wanted to, you can just click here, which points right at that button. Click here, and then you can have it go through any of these preset already mouse functions. You know, if you want to do a left click, right click, all these different functions. Keyboard function. This is a single key, so if you wanted to open a calculator, media player, mute, raise the volume, all these different functions, or hit a single key, you can set that. Kind of boring though. Then you can do advanced functions, so you can set it back to no function if you set it to a previous function and you don't like it. You can have the launch driver menu, which opens up this Viper Gaming Mouse software. Kind of boring. You can adjust the DPI not only on the fly, but through the software as well. You can lock the Y and the X axis, or the Y or the X axis. So that's pretty cool. You're trying to draw a straight line, up or down, left or right. That'll help you there. The sniper function, which is pretty cool. You know, you might have a 12,000 DPI setting, but while you're sniping, you don't want it to move around so erratically. So you can hold down that button, and then it scrolls over very slowly. You can get on the exact pixel that you want to snipe somebody on. And that's not only for gaming, that could be for art, that could be for so many things. Angle snapping, kind of along the same lines to help you keep a straight line, to stay on one angle. DPI increase, decrease, DPI loop. Then macro, this is a fun one. So you can see here, I've created one, but I'm going to go ahead in here, macro editor, and I'll just delete that one just to I'll delete that one just to show you that, you know, how to delete it. It went away from here and from over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just clear all these out. Now we're going to go ahead and create a macro for PUBG. I had somebody ask me in another one of my videos if I can create a macro for PUBG. And you can, but I'll show you guys real quick. So what I'm going to do is, first off, explain to you what each of these does. So here you insert a delay. Over here, you insert a keyboard, mouse, or scroll command. Insert a mouse movement. here you can start recording, here you can stop recording, here you can import a macro, you can export a macro, and you can save a macro that you're working on. And then here you can clear the command list and delete the commands. You saw me do all that. Over here you can create a new macro, which is what we're going to do now. Call it PUBG2. Enter to save, to create it. And then over here, I'm going to create a macro that makes me run for a few seconds, run again for a few seconds, stop, shoot, 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 stop shooting, shoot, 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 stop shooting, then shoot once, shoot twice, shoot 3 times, and then run again. All right, so the way we do that is we just hit record. Now I'm recording www, let go, then jump, 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 then shoot, 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 let go, shoot, 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 let go, shoot, 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 and then run. Okay? So now I'm just going to go ahead and exit that. Now, this particular computer, I really can't play PUBG. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here to export it. And then I'm just going to leave it that name you see there. I'm going to save it onto my desktop. You see that pop up right over here. And then if I wanted to, I can come over here. I can just delete it. And then I'll go ahead and clear all these commands. So let's go over to my PC real quick and let's go ahead and import this.
All right, guys, so I have the software loaded. So over here, I'm going to go into macro editor. Then I'm going to go ahead and click import macro from file. Now let's go ahead, double click on this guy right here. Okay. And then we'll just click save macro. We'll name it PUBG2. And we'll close this out. Now we'll go ahead over here under no function. And we'll select macros and what we just imported, PUBG2. All right. So here we go. We're good to go there. Select. Now what happens there, PUBG2. So now I'm going to go ahead, open up PUBG. All right. So then in here, we go into training mode and join. It's not going to be a real game, just to show you guys how it works. All right, let's go grab some guns. All right, so now we'll go ahead and load up over here. So if you remember, I just press this button. All I do, let me go ahead and turn around. That's further away, I would say. Now I'll just press this button and let go. You see how it's doing all the running for me. Jump, jump, jump. Now it shoots uncontrollably. 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Then it does a little bit more running. Alright, so now what I go ahead and do is maybe to make it make a little bit more sense. Just to show you where I would use this along, in a real round. Alright, so I just want to see somebody out here. Okay, there he is. I just pressed it. Now I'm running towards him. I'm going to jump. 1, 2, 3. Of course, and then he runs away. But keeping things under control. There we go. And then, of course, he runs. And now I think I'm done. Yep, I'm done. So that's it. I just wanted to show you how that worked. All right, so now let's go ahead, jump out of here real quick. I want to show you one more thing these kind of macros can do that's kind of fun. So kind of to scare my son a little bit, and I've done this once, is create a new macro. I'll call it Xavier. Okay, and let's go ahead and just select this guy. I'll go ahead and clear everything here. And now I'm just going to type, I'm going to record, hi Xavier, how are you? I am a ghost. Boo. Alright, and then maybe I'll shift back a few. and press enter. Okay, so then that's it. I'll save that. Now I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, so now that is called Xavier. I come over here and I click Xavier and I click select. So now if I open up a notepad and just push that button, hi Xavier, how are you? I am Ghost. Oh, a ghost. Boo. And then remember I held control and went back a few times. Then I hit enter just to drop it down. So kind of a good way, if anything, funny way to scare somebody. Maybe insert like a 8 trillion millisecond delay, and then walk away, have somebody use your computer, and it does that. It opens up Notepad, does whatever. But anyway, let's go back to the demonstration real quick.
All right, so well, you saw how I did that in PUBG. It works pretty well. So now, let's say I wanted to add maybe a longer pause and a little bit more running. So I'll just come over here, I'll click import. I'll add this over here. This puts in everything I did already. So over here, we can see I can edit the macro. I'm running for 1,502 milliseconds. I want to run for a little bit longer, just a little tiny bit. So I'm going to make it 1,600 milliseconds. So you can see I can just double click on that and make a change. And now I want to insert a delay in here. 1 millisecond. I'm just going to make it 60 milliseconds. So that's just going to run for a little bit, pause, run for a little bit more, then do a jump, a jump, a jump. And then we run here at the very end. We do some running. And you know what? I'm going to insert down here. I'm going to insert another keyboard and mouse control. I'm going to fire, 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 fire. Okay, here I'm going to enter a mouse movement. So right here. And I'm going to do X 500 and then Y 600. There you go. So you just saw me add a bunch of stuff, edit a bunch of stuff. So pretty cool the way that works. Then you can just save right over here. Yep. To PUBG 2. And then we'll do another export, and I'll just name that one -2. I won't show you how it works because you've already seen it, but anyway, I just made a few modifications to it. So pretty cool. Okay. And then key cycle, I don't really like this one too much, but you can create a cycle or a reverse cycle. So the cycle, every time you click, if I assign it to this key, for example, every time I click the first time this guy, it's going to click H. To click it again, it'll hit I. Click it again, space, click it again, L, click it again, G. It's kind of weird the way that works. Reverse, it would be the same thing. It'll be G first, L second, space, and then it'll start, current position will start from the current position. I don't really know of a good use for that one, but it's there in case you wanted to use it. Then you can add more and clear. All right, so coming over here, so I'll go ahead and just clear here. So basically, for macro, I launch that guy, I select that guy, and now every time I click this key, it does that PUBG 2 movement you saw me do. And then, of course, all the other things you saw me do that I could assign to this key, or really any key. Okay, so the left click, you can see here, you can't change it. That may not be a bad thing, but anyway, and then, you can change up all of these. Okay, so sensor, over here, you can change those preset that you saw me do here, all those preset DPI changes. And again, not only does it change down here, but it changes on the screen and of course on the OSD. And then, over here, let's say I want to raise this over here, I can. And if I want to change the X and Y over here on its own, I want it to move faster on this axis versus that axis, I could change that. Or if I want to keep them in sync, I just take this off and they're always in sync. So now you can see I come over to 1 and now it's 4800 instead of what it was before. It was pretty low before. So just show you that, or that goes through there as well. Okay, then macro editor, we've already gone through that. And then settings, we can do the angle snapping as I showed you before, that, you know, if you want to keep a straight line, you can use that angle snapping, it'll help. Enable DPI profile OSD, that'll, if you uncheck that, that'll get rid of that OSD right there. I kind of like that myself, but you may not. If you don't want it, just click that right there and it's gone. It doesn't show anymore. Bring that back and it shows it again. Now, disable mouse acceleration. I've disabled it for me. If you want, you can enable it. I feel with that mouse acceleration, the movements are just really quirky, and that'll go with any mouse, in my opinion, that I've used to change that mouse acceleration. I prefer it disabled. Okay, and then up here, if you wanted to, you can raise or lower your DPI. I'm sorry, your polling rate. I keep mine at 1000, which is the speed at which you're sending communication to and from the mouse and the computer. Over here, you can back up all your settings, you can restore your settings, or you can reset everything back to factory defaults. So if you remember, we made some changes. There was a DPI set there. Then it's going back to all of its original colors here. Its sensor, you remember we changed this one. I think it was 4800 before. All that, we've reverted everything back. Here, it won't change it because that's an actual file. And then, you know, so cool the way that works. Then over here, you can change the lighting effects of the mouse. So for example, let me go ahead and turn off that light real quick. All right, so here we can do the wave like it is right now by default. Change it to wave invert, which is a bit weird. It's just that same wave the other way around. Kind of odd the way that works. Random, to me it's kind of still like the wave, but maybe not as smooth. It'll go through every single color there randomly, throws out whatever color. I'm sure there is some sort of order, but you know. Random 2, again, just does what it wants. And then we can go to customize. Customize here, we can select what we want each of those lights to be. So you can see I'm changing that button there. All right, and I'll change this guy to blue. Change this guy to light blue. I'll change this guy to yellow. Just to show you guys things standing out a little bit. Over here, I'll change it to just black. Oof, turns that one off. I haven't seen the way that the black looks. Okay, so then we'll go ahead, set all lights. That way we just come back over here and we can set again how we want everything. And then aside from always on, we can have it breathing. So I'm going to change that one to breathing red. So this guy right down here is just breathing. On, off, on, off. Okay. And that's about it. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit more in depth on how this software works. It's actually pretty cool, and it's a teeny download. It's about maybe 35 megs from Patriot's website, and I'll go ahead and link that in the description below as well. As always, please do click like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And click on that little bell notification. That'll definitely let you know anytime I come out with new content. But regardless, I come out with new videos every Monday and Friday for sure at 12 p.m. EST. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please do put them in the comments below. I answer every one of you guys, even if it's a stupid comment. But anyway, this is Iggy again, showing you guys how to set up, how to utilize and everything the Viper Gaming Mouse software for the Viper V551 Optical RGB Gaming Mouse. Iggy out. See you guys.
Products in this video were provided to the author to do a review. All opinions are 100% authors and authors alone.